spicy video earlier. If you want to avoid politics, I would suggest you avoid that video. It was me basically unloading my opinions on recent events and how I feel about things. I may have hopefully gotten it out of my system, and now I'm sitting here waiting for a delivery of Epic Space Marines because I've decided to maybe jump into the Epic Horse Heresy hobby, just based on the fact that I love Horse Heresy. The original Space Marine was the first game I played from. Hey, how you doing, Vic? From Games Workshop, and this game apparently. Hey, Nerdy Ogre, how you doing? This game apparently is very, very similar to the original Space Marines in the way it works. Not quite as similar as what was it that came out later, Space Marine Epic or whatever. So this game's a lot more similar to the original game and rules wise. So I'm like, okay, I'll give her a shot. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. In the middle of nowhere, loading your favorite drink, soy milk. Uh, yeah, I don't drink soy milk. I have though. I have to admit. I mean, I can't deny. And I have eaten fried tofu with spicy uh, Ming bean gravy or whatever. So, I mean, kind of you got me. Yeah, I've eaten tofu. I've eaten soy. You're in need of a nap. Then what are you doing here? But I understand the need of a nap. I mean, for me, it's just the absolute disappointment and depression. Squirrel Hermit, long time no see, homie. Of everything that's went on, because some of you may know this just from hanging out around me. I am kind of a cultural supremacist. And I kind of believe the United States is the greatest nation to ever exist upon this earth, right? Like nothing's even close. The U.S. is really, uh, to quote Kennedy, we are the light on the hill. We are, basically the good guys, blah, 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 right? And, I always considered myself a patriot. I volunteered for the army. I went to war, etc. And whether you like Charlie Kirk or not, I don't know, Big Vic. Whether you like Charlie Kirk or not, I mean, a dude just got assassinated in our country. And, it kind of makes me question, like, what has America become, you know? And I'm not trying to make this too deep and whatever, but it's like, can you imagine if you had people out there on the street sniping, like, I don't know, The View? I mean, it's like, so yeah, and that's why I said in my video, it's like, this is not the way Americans act. We're the good guys. We talk shit and then we go buy a beer for each other. You know what I mean? I agree with you or don't agree with you, but we leave friends, hopefully. And all of this evil that's going on, it's like, and assassinating Charlie Kirk because he basically has Christian values. Because let's be honest, they're all mad and they're calling him hate filled because of his stance on transsexualism and the alphabet community. But everything he's saying is just straight out of scripture. And it's like, okay, if you don't want to hear Christian theology, go somewhere else or ignore it. Doesn't affect you. How you doing, Leth?
Oh, good.
It doesn't affect you. One guy sitting at Dodge University campus telling you about Christian theology and why he believes certain things are not right. That should not be a reason for somebody to throw their entire lives away. No, I didn't hear about Boise. Don't tell me some shit's going on in Boise. I can't handle this shit. This shit is, it's like, are we just going to go ahead and have a civil war? Is that what's going on here?
Maybe.
I don't want to hear that.
I know, but
it seems like it, don't it? It's like, I mean, if these leftists are going to continue to do shit, then eventually people on the right are going to have to do something back. Because, I mean, you can only really F with people so much. And my concern
That's what happened in Boise. There were a bunch of people. They were holding a vigil for Charlie Kirk, and some dumbass riding along on an e-scooter started shouting out, Charlie Kirk, fuck Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got what he got what he deserved, and started all that shit. And the people that were holding the vigil, they showed them who's who and what's what. So, I mean, I agree. There's obviously talk.
Well, I mean, no one should be surprised on Nerdy Ogre because you've got the media and all these assholes telling these soft-brained idiots that this person and that person are literally Hitler.
Yeah.
If you demonize and dehumanize a person enough, people are going to do something. Hello, Janet from another planet. I would guess the planet you're from is Venus. But anyway, I used to have this book somebody wrote about relationships. It was like men are from Mars, women are from Venus. But I always called it men are from Mars, women are from hell. But I mean, to be honest, it's like, well, yeah, that's the problem though. You've got, I mean, like the generations after Gen X have an exceptionally high amount of mentally ill people, like compared to every other generation. And if you're going to run your mouth and say some shit like this, I mean, one of these crazy bastards will do something because they're crazy bastards. They might not even know any better. You know what I mean? They're crazy. Crazy people do crazy shit, right? And it's like,
well,
I don't know about that. Calm the hell down.
I don't know about that. Are they really crazy? Some of them, yes. I'll give you that. But
maybe a lot of this craziness is manufactured.
If you're raised to believe that anybody who disagrees with you is Hitler, and anybody who is all the istophobes, they're not crazy. They've just
been indoctrinated.
They've been raised that way.
That's even more sad.
Yeah.
And, it's like finding out that a child who is raised in a Christian home is a Christian. I mean,
It's like, duh.
You know, I mean,
even though, to be honest, you can never tell.
Well, true. I was raised. My father was a Baptist minister. I don't identify as Christian. There are the outliers, you know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're going to find out that people who are raised a certain way grow up
Nature
to
versus
believe
nurture,
a
you think?
certain way. So I don't necessarily subscribe to the that they're crazy.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, if
arguing
someone goes
nature
around
versus
telling,
nurture.
saying, somebody's writing a diary and tell them that the flying spaghetti monster in the, in the ice box is telling them to, do something horrible. Okay,
To be
that
fair,
person's crazy.
if you make it through the colander at the end of time, you get to go to a heaven where it's nothing but beer volcanoes and hooker factories. So, I mean, you can kind of understand why somebody might be fond of the flying spaghetti monster. I mean, who wouldn't want, volcanoes that shoot beer up out all the time, and hooker factories? I mean, obviously, as a Christian, I'll never get to see that heaven, but it, okay.
So, but I mean, if the little guy in your fingers telling you, to lick the light socket, that person has some issues that needs to be addressed.
Well, what do you think about the son of Sam?
I don't
Crazy
really
or
know
demon
enough.
possessed?
I don't really know enough about that. I mean, I know, like, I recognize the name and everything, but
he was a mass shooter who claimed that he killed people because he was told to kill people by the 44 demons that lived in New York. And he believed that
was what, early
that's back in like
mid-70s?
the 70s. And he believed
that was before my time, though.
Every person he killed, their soul went to those demons for, to be abused and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's where.
As far as I know, he is the only Jewish serial killer that I know of. And in prison, he converted to Christianity. But I mean, the son of Sam's real name, what was it? Is something very, very Jewish. It'll come to me at some point. But as a matter of fact, it's kind of scary because when I saw a picture of him, I was like, damn, this dude kind of looks like my dad.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
But it's like, I do believe.
But also, he said his neighbor's dog was possessed and telling him to kill people too. So that guy,
was he possessed or was he schizophrenic?
That is the problem,
and that's
because either could be true, and then in some really weird cases, both.
Maybe both.
both. Yeah, this guy's name was David Berkowitz.
That's a very Jewish name.
Well, he's up in New York, back when Queens was like more or less mostly a Jewish neighborhood.
But I mean, it's like I do believe that I do believe in good and evil. I do believe that there is something greater than us.
You're agnostic.
I don't want to say greater, something beyond us.
Yeah, you're agnostic. I'm not even trying to cut you off, but
no, and
I'm not cutting to the chase. You are agnostic.
Yeah,
you believe there's something out there, you just don't know what it is.
I don't think any one religion holds all the answers, and there are some where I don't think they have any of the answers. But
see, that part I can't agree with you with because of you know why, and I don't want to get into it, but I mean, when I meet people and they ask me about stuff or I say stuff about my religion, if they tell me they're not interested, I drop it.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, I'm literally not here to convert people.
Hey, Shadow. Hey, Squirrel.
Hey, Shadow. And Squirrel's been here. I haven't seen Squirrel in forever. Except the other night on Bear's show. I guess we know who Squirrel likes more. Right? Bear, which I was just on Bear's show for like an hour and a half. Nerdy Ogre knows it. He was there for a minute.
James going to be like, I'll get you, Bear.
Right? You're gonna be like, Bear, I knew Squirrel Hermit before you did. Get off my Kool-Aid, motherfucker. Anyway, me and Bear get into a big fight over who gets to be friends with Squirrel Hermit. No, we can both be friends with Squirrel Hermit. Squirrel Hermit's good people, but Bear cannot have Leth. That's where I draw the line. Leth is my Andy Richter. Leth is my whoever Johnny Carson had. And
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon. That's who he is to me, and no one can have him. He is my Cheech. He is the Cheech to my Chong.
Wouldn't he be the Chong to your Cheech?
No, I'm not Mexican.
Oh.
I'm not either.
I'm also not Chinese either, though. So, I mean, I don't know how that works, Leth.
I'm sure you probably got some Chinese blood in you somewhere.
I actually don't. I know exactly what my DNA is. You know what you do? You take a map of Europe and you scroll to Scandinavia and you just draw a circle from Norway down to Germany, over to Poland, and then back up. That's where all my people come from. I'm Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, German, Polish, and 4% Irish. I mean, but you know the Irish, they'll sleep with anyone.
I've been curious about my ancestry, but not enough to really do anything about it. Because
go ahead.
What does it matter? It's not going to change anything.
I agree. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, when I got my DNA test done, I told my wife, I was like, just so you know, there's a pretty good chance there's some African in here. So I hope you don't mind, right? And she's like, of course not. You know, I love you, whatever, right? But I'm like, you know, because I know part of my family owned slaves. So there was a good chance that there was, you know, a brother in the woodpile, as they say. I was really surprised when the DNA test came back. And one, I was 4% Irish, even though I'd been raised my whole life to think my family was Irish because of my last name. And no African, no Native American, nothing like that. And my whole life, I've been told I was Irish and Cherokee. But I come to the conclusion that most people in Eastern Kentucky that claim to be Cherokee it's actually African. And they're just trying to say Cherokee because there was, for the longest time, a stigma if you had, you know, African blood, right? And you're a white hillbilly, right?
If the waters were muddied a little bit.
Right. So people would say, oh, no, I'm dark and blah, blah, blah because of my Indian blood, Cherokee, right? Everybody knows better. It's like, so I honestly thought, because I had black hair and I have black eyes, you know, like I have the least European colored eyes and hair ever. I'm talking like blue, black. And my eyes are not brown, they're black. And, but no, not a drop of African or Native. I'm just a freaking anomaly.
My old man, he got he's been accused of being Mexican a time or two whenever he was young, because you know it's like slightly darker skinned than some, and not to mention he was raised here in Texas mostly, and so
where almost everyone has some Mexican in them at some point.
Well, also, you spend a lot of time outside. You get a little cooked and a little darker. He told me this one time, Grandma Tex, she goes barging into the school and she's about to kill his teacher because she accused him of not being clean because he was dark and the folds in the skin were a little darker, and she grabbed him and she just scrubbed him raw, trying to get that dirt off, and that wasn't there. And so yeah,
I don't think you can wash the melanin off of a person. I think that's something different. But now I will say this, and my brother's probably watching. Hungar, when he was young and got a tan, if he had his hair cut relatively short so that it wasn't all throwed out, he could pass as a Mexican. Because, I mean, he was like 14 when he had a full mustache. And he kind of had that darker olive complexion that half of my family has. Half of my family's super pasty like me. And the other half of the family is almost Greek looking,
Yeah.
They have that tint to them, right? So Hungar could 100% pass as a Mexican or Cubano back in the day. Now, not so much, obviously, but there was a time.
Now he can pass as Santa Claus.
Right. Now he can be Father Christmas.
I read George Takei's autobiography, and he was talking about growing up in California, spent especially summertime, where he spent surfing out in the sun, and he got cooked. Of course, he's Japanese, so whenever he got tanned, he looked like a Mexican Indian mixed.
Well,
and then on top of which,
that's kind of
he spoke Spanish fluently. So everybody just thought he was, I forget what they called it. So everybody just assumed that he was part Mexican, part Indian. And he went to work with some
You're killing
migrants.
me, Nerdy Ogre.
He went to work with some migrants, picking the field owned by some Japanese. And of course, George Takei being Japanese, he overheard them talking about how they're screwing these workers over, until it came up to George Takei, and he told them, either you fix this problem or I tell them what's going on, in Japanese. Needless to say, they fixed it. I'll shut up rambling now.
No, the thing that I'm an asshole about is you keep saying Mexican Indian. That's the same thing. Like literally the tribe that the Aztecs was not Aztec. It was Mezcali. The Spanish tall pale skinned dudes, those are called Spaniards, not Mexicans. But the little red ones you find standing out front of a DIY store looking for some jobs, those are Indian Mexicans. Those are the actual Mexicans. And I'm not saying that to correct you and be a dick. I'm saying it because I'm compulsive like that. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but
we're all a little on the spectrum.
And the Spaniards came. Mexico to this day is a two-tiered society. Like the pure blood Mezcali Indians or whatever tribe of Indians are lower class. And the taller and paler your skin is, the higher class you are. And the highest class is what they call Castilian. And a Castilian is because they come from the province in Spain, Castile. You see what I mean? Like, look at their president. She's a white lady named Sheinbaum. How do you think that happened?
Well, sometime in the late 40s, there was a little tiff over there in Europe. And there was a certain group from a certain part where they started. And a lot of them I've heard.
Now, Argentina, you're right.
A lot of them did come to the South and Central American region.
There were regions in the southern part of Argentina where all the mountains are where you could go and the village looked like it was Bavarian and everyone in the village spoke German. It wasn't until like the late 70s or whatever that Argentina passed laws that everyone had to speak Spanish. Because you basically had a country within a country.
Well, that's what.
And everything was German. Everything was German. Culturally, they were German. Their houses and architecture was German. They were speaking German. So you're right there. But what happened with Mexico is the Spanish settled it back in the 1500s. And some of them interbred with the locals and some did not. I'll tell you what, Spanish Empire was one of the most racist empires ever. They had like 12 classifications for people.
Really hasn't changed much.
But also, you're forgetting about the people that came across the Bering Strait.
Yeah, they become
long before the Europeans. The people came across the Bering Strait and they started moving south. And
they become the Indians because they were Asian. And if you use the ethno classification, Caucasian, Negro, Asian, Indians, both North and South American, are Asian. Except for, the Castilians in Spain, they're Europeans. And the Germans up in the mountains of Argentina, they're also Europeans. But
that's one question I've always asked and I've never gotten a straight answer.
Right? You got in your mind the Siberian tribes on the ice with the dogs eating seals and shit. Those are the people who crossed the Bering Strait.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bunch of Europeans.
No.
Now, supposedly, and we've been through this, there was already people there. What's up, Dean Powell? And the Indians wiped them out. But until we get rock hard evidence on that, that's just a woo-woo story. But that the Indians tell, And then, of course, the Navajo don't believe they came from across anywhere. The Navajo myth, they believe that they originated in a cave deep underground. And at some point, a great warrior chief, the cave was full of monsters that ate them. And at some point, a great warrior chief arose and led them through the red world, the blue world, and whatever the black world, and eventually got to the surface. And they've been there, are competitive. I don't think I've said anything racist, Dean. But I could be good at competitive racism, I guess.
I don't think you've said anything racist.
No, I've said nothing racist. But remember, Dean is European. They're not allowed to have opinions about things.
Oh.
I didn't get that memo.
Yeah, they don't even have freedom of speech over there. Dean's got to watch what he says online. He could go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's insane.
It's like England has put more people in jail for shit they said online this year than Russia has in the last 10.
Yeah, I'm absolutely baffled that people would want to live like that, other than the people in power.
The Europeans put more people, take out more violent criminals in jail, just put more people who just said stuff online in jail.
Right. That's absolute.
Like one time, but I don't think this was England. I think it was Germany. This young woman got raped by
the usual suspects.
The usual suspects, and then ended up getting tried and sent to prison longer than he was in prison for saying things they considered racist about him.
Have I mentioned how much I love that phrase, the usual suspects?
Well, because you always know.
Yep.
I remember Ann Coulter was on Bill Maher once because for some reason Bill Maher invites her on all the time. And somebody had done a shooting and they were speculating who it was. And Ann Coulter said, it's going to be a young black man. And Bill Maher's like, "How do you know?" And she's like, "Because the police have not told us yet what anything about him." And sure as shit, she was right. It was like, yeah. And that has long since become kind of the rule. If someone goes on like some kind of crime spree and the cops catch them but refuse to tell you any details, you can pretty much guarantee it's a black guy or a Muslim.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear that one? I forget who it was. It was on CNN, and they were talking, and it was right. It was right at when Charlie Kirk got shot.
Right.
They were talking about it, and of course they weren't giving specifics because there were no specifics to be given.
Right.
But instead of saying, it's like talking about, somebody trying to assassinate Charlie Kirk. And he said, well, we don't know if it could have been somebody, it could have been a fan shooting off a gun in celebration.
No kidding.
Because I'm sure Charlie Kirk fans carry firearms to a university. That is insane. But yeah, remember, these are the same people who tried to argue that Trump faked his own assassination attempt.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I could see how it could have been done, but I don't think.
No, we're not playing that game, Shadow. I'll start calling you Joy Reid.
Please don't.
Then don't start freaking talking like her.
Well, you have to, look at both sides sometimes.
No, you don't. Sometimes you know what the truth is. You don't have to look at the other side. You can just settle on what the truth is.
Hey, I personally think what happened was a miracle, literally hand of God kind of thing. But the skeptic in me, sometimes comes out.
The only thing I worry about that shooting is that it was an inside job.
Oh, I know exactly who did it. Or at least I have my theory that I go with.
Wait. Oh, your audio's out, James. We can't hear you.
Still no go.
Nope.
Testicles 1, 2.
Wait.
Nope.
It's not normal to have 3?
Huh.
There we go.
We got you.
Yeah, I was saying, Shadow, you better not be talking about who I think you're talking about, or you'll end up, well, at least your bones will end up floating in the Bay of Miami in a 55-gallon drum.
No. But you're half right. I do believe it was a female.
I know the female you're talking about. That's why I warned you.
No, not doesn't start with an H.
Yeah, but the H one is friends with the J one.
Yeah, but the J one was best friends with the head of the Secret Service. So
you've got a trifecta going on.
Yep, you know how women are.
No, I don't.
Really?
I've tried to figure it out. It's never worked. It just is what it is. It's a big headache. But any hoozle, I'm getting some of these Star Frontier ships painted and other ships. Like this is just one that I 3D printed and threw some guns on. So, but mostly Star Frontier ships. And then just for the H of it, I did this Bradley M2 Mark II, or M2A1 actually. But I haven't thrown the chocolate brown and the black spots on it yet.
because during the time of Twilight 2000, that would have been the standard pattern for American vehicles, the green, black, brown, which it turns out is absolutely horrible camouflage. And, but whatever. We called it temperate when I was in. And then when we went to the desert, we got our desert camo, which we called chocolate chip, because it was basically, it looked like a chocolate chip cookie.
Khaki and dark
brown.
It
was like the brown with like the chocolate spots all over. It was like, we also got like an anti-infrared cloak, and it was like dark green with like a grid pattern on it. And supposedly, if you wore it, it would make it where night vision couldn't see you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I never tried it out. It was just something they gave us, and it's like neat. Because night vision's definitely going to see us. We're in a freaking Bradley, so there's no chance of not being seen. We're tooling around in a big armored vehicle. It's not like we're rangers or something creeping through the brush. But anyway, oh yeah, joking about hey, look, Dean. There's not a culture on the planet that compete with the Spanish when it comes to coming up with crazy ass caste systems based on how much native or African or Spanish blood you have in you. Like I said, they had like 8 classifications. And at the top of it, of course, was the Europeans. And they've been on top since about 1580. Like, almost every single president of Mexico. Not only that, but the last president, his last name was Fox. Now, I'm not going to say Fox was a Jewish guy, right? But I will point out that Fox is a very Jewish name. So you went from Fox to Scheinbaum in Mexico.
Nothing at all suspicious about that.
Yeah, that's like, that just doesn't seem like it would be a thing. Like, why would a bunch of Roman Catholic Mexicans vote for someone named Gloria Scheinbaum or whatever? But they did.
Because they didn't, well,
a lot of the people running against her got killed by the cartels. So, but that happens in every Mexican election, though. So that's not new. That's just... which is why in the video I made today, I was sad because I was like, again, we're the United States. We don't do this. If your person doesn't win, you wait 4 years and try again. And
more,
don't
apparently.
talk about politics all the time, and you don't ever tell people who you voted for.
Yeah. Remember when that was an actual thing?
Yeah, keep that shit to yourself. I do not want to know who anyone voted for.
Well, I gotta head out of here.
You head out of here.
Take care, nerdy.
See ya, you nerdy goblin.
Oh my God, that's what Bear did to him too when he had to leave Bear's show. Bear started effing with him about being the nerdy goblin.
What does that say? What does that say?
Yep.
What does that say?
Nerdy goblin. But then again, it's really small, so I can't.
I can't read, you nerdy goblin.
Yeah, we're both from Kentucky. We don't know how to read.
Say right there.
Okay, well, I understand the symbology that you're showing us.
All right. See y'all later.
Yeah.
Peace, brother.
Or to quote, what's his name in Boondock Saints? I think the word you were looking for is symbolism. Symbolism. Now go get me a coffee and a bagel.
I don't have those.
Yeah, well, in Boondock Saints, it was the FBI guy that came down to help him solve the murders.
Yeah.
And he was constantly like correcting them because they were idiots. And there was like the one rookie cop. And every time Every time
Long
the
time
rookie
no see,
cop would
brother.
say something stupid,
Hey, guys.
send him to get him like coffee or, you know, he'd be like, "I'll take coffee, 2 creams, 1 sugar," and the guy would walk off being like, I love that part when Willem Dafoe is like, "So what our theory is that these 2 Russian mobsters got crushed by some big fucking guy." You know, it's like, so we've got a serial crusher running around Boston. And then
The great smasher.
That's when he's all like, "Go get me a bagel, cream cheese, the little lox." And the guy's just like, "Shit." You know what I mean? Because the FBI guy they brought in specifically to solve the thing is just effing with him. But and then ends up helping the killers. We've all seen Boondock Saints.
No,
We know how it goes. But how you doing, Squirrel? How's life?
I'm well, busy, tired, but
You haven't grown a third eye yet, so that's good.
no. All the extracurriculars I did in my youth probably granted me an immune system.
Okay. I mean,
We
because
call-
I know you live up there where, you know, they dump chemicals all over the place.
Yeah,
We
we
call
just we counteracted it with a lot of other man-made chemicals for fun.
There you go.
We called them party favors.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Party
even
favors?
want to consider what Shadow called party favors. Just
No, you probably don't.
some of the stuff I hear, I just don't believe I would want to be at a Shadow party or receive a Shadow party favor.
I've had some.
I think his party favors are probably ball gags or something like that.
Yeah.
Shadow's into some wild shit, Squirrel Hermit. I'm saying.
Flavored even maybe.
Jeez. No.
Yeah, that's been said that he keeps some young men chained in his basement.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, thank God I'm not young.
Oh, but you're young at heart. Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
James got a visitor.
I just got a delivery, so
Nice.
let me get up and get it.
You painting something, Shadow?
Yes,
What you painting?
it's a monstrosity of multiple.
Nice.
different-
It's Shadow's favorite hentai monster.
Yeah, it's a Dungeons and Lasers, Amorphous, Cthulhu, 3-legged. It's kind of like Shub-Niggurath because it's also got it's got like reptilian tentacle, and it's also got 2 legs with hooves. So
Cool.
Hey,
It's
off-grid gamer.
it's a
Off
it's a
grid.
knockoff.
Living the
old
dream.
one
Off
by
grid up in
Arkham
Canada.
Studios. Say what?
I said off grid, living the dream, off grid in Canada.
Oh yeah, you should see his spread, man. He's got a nice place.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, good for him.
So what'd you get, James?
Oh, I got something that's going to make Shadow not happy with me.
Uh-oh.
I was
I
going to
got
say ball
something
gags.
Shadow has been ranting about for a year plus. Talking about how it's the worst thing that has ever been made and how disappointed he is.
I don't know.
And
What's the
that-
I'm in suspense.
And that, you know, he absolutely hates it.
Shadow Dark.
Shadow Dark? Oh, that would be a thing, wouldn't it?
Not
No,
a
you
fan.
hate this more than Shadow Dark.
That's hard to imagine. Oh, really? You lucky duck. I don't
What do you
hate
mean,
that at all.
Rocky Duck? I thought you said you hated this.
No, I hate the way they what they did with it, that being canceled it the minute it was out.
Oh, you can still find this on their web store. I mean, it's
Yeah, but I mean there's no support. it's
The
Dead in the
problem
water.
with this game is they don't need to support it anymore. Like everything that existed during the Horse Heresy is out. There's literally nothing else to make. I guess they could have made like, I don't know, Legion specific troops and stuff. What surprised me about the box set is it's half Space Marines and half solar whatevers.
like Imperial Guard.
Basically the early Imperial Guard, yeah.
Huh.
And of course
That was my army back in the day for Epic.
and then the Imperial Guard guys get 2 Malkador heavy tanks and a squad of Lehman Russ tanks. And the Space Marines get a couple of Kratos tanks and Predator tanks. Then there's 2 Hellhound Titans that
Epic was my all-time favorite war game. I love Man of War, but Epic was
I like Man War better, but Epic was the first
same here.
workshop game I ever played.
I don't know if it was
And it wasn't called Epic, it was called Space Marine.
right. Epic was
In
like
a big
it was like 2.5 or something. And I have everything they ever made for Epic or Space Marines except a few individual troop types and things like that.
one thing I will say that annoys me is for some reason the Horse Heresy stuff, they're not making any demi-human armies.
Yeah, that's
for either version, the big version or the little version.
Yeah, see, like with the original Space Marines, I was a big fan of the Eldar. My buddies all loved to play the squats. I was okay with that. Never a fan of the orcs. Chaos is a necessary evil. You need them. And so I had, that was, I think, White Dwarf's golden age.
Yeah, that was the golden age. White Dwarf taught you how to build buildings and freaking tanks and
whatever you needed. You just build it. Don't count on us. We're not your, one-stop shop.
Now they actually don't want to tell you how to build buildings. They want to sell you buildings.
Well, not only that, but
I'm sure
the GW we've got down the street. I've been there many times. My boy and I, we were there for the grand opening, and I've seen people get kicked out for bringing in non-GW like crafting supplies. Let's say like paintbrushes, super glue, etc. You bring that stuff into their shop, and you're sitting down working at one of their work tables, and they'll kick you out if you start bringing out things like rubbing alcohol or other things, paintbrushes, glue that aren't theirs. It's like you can't have that in here.
That's wild. At my local comic shop, their big rule is, and this came from GW, not from them, but they have to put up with it or GW will not let them sell any product. Nothing can have any 3D printed anything on it.
Huh.
So that invalidated my entire army because I 3D printed Blood Angel specific helmets and Blood Angel specific pauldrons that had the Blood Angel symbol like raised on them, because I didn't want to use transfers, and it's if it's raised, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I had a Lamenter's army, but same thing. I had 3D printed all the Lamenter's pauldrons, and that one piece made my army not legal in any Games Workshop supported tournament.
It's so corporate bull crap. What are they afraid of? Are they really afraid of losing that $8 from that guy who happened to bring in a different paintbrush or super glue or whatever? I mean, are they really that worried, or are they that
I think it's just
petty about it? What's up, Angry Holy Diver? Sorry,
it's pettiness. It's pettiness.
Yeah, petty tyranny.
Yeah,
the worst kind of tyrant is.
I was in a tobacco shop before I quit smoking,
Holy
and
cow.
there was this this couple in front of me, and they were talking about they weren't. She was talking to the customers about how because I guess they had asked, for the
Got some
flavored vape
mangoes.
juice, which is illegal here in California now,
What is
and someone had come into the store, asking for it, and then when she said we don't carry it, it's against the law. He went back to his car and started writing in his clipboard, because he was a narc basically, and I'm just like, what? I mean, either go all the way or just get the hell out of people's business when it comes to stupid crap like that. To me, that would
Yeah.
be like outlawing wine coolers because the kids might like the taste.
Yeah, I don't know what this has to do with.
Well, it's that same kind of mentality that people got to be in other people's business when it's not really hurting anybody.
I am kind of interested though in the Imperial Guard. I always loved playing guardsmen.
Oh yeah, I was huge fan of, especially in Space Marines, their artillery. Just pound the shit out of them before they get to you, and then let your super heavy tanks take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Those were,
and of course, this is compatible with the game you and Jackie used to play all the time.
Aeronauticus Imperialis.
Yep, this is compatible.
That is a fun game,
and it's also compatible with Legion Titanicus.
Yeah, I've got. Hold on.
Except, of course, in order to have a
that?
Reaver Titan, you have to have a 3,000 point army.
You can see right down there. I still got the little poster that came with it. Aeronauticus Imperialis is a super fun game. You can play it in under an hour, a couple of planes each. You just dogfight. Really simple rules. I taught Jackie that, in like 15 minutes, and it was a close game between the two of us. But the old man knows how to fly, so.
Well, that's great that you and your son played. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to convince my wife to give this a try.
It's just a quick tactical game. There's not a lot of setup. You put your planes on the board and you're pretty much done.
Definitely see picking up. Like a Baneblade tank. Well, 2 of them in a box. Marauder Bomber Squadron, Storm Eagle Squadron.
Yeah, when I saw the price of the planes, I was just like, I guess we're not getting any planes anytime soon. I might look around on the secondary market, but the planes were so damn complicated. I kid you not. It was like 30 individual parts to put a plane together that's like maybe 2 inches long.
Oh, geez.
It's just like stamp 2 pieces. That's
I have no mercy for you. You know why I have no mercy for you?
Why?
Because I put together a Dark Elf Blood Bolt team. And until you have tried to mess with those fiddly little easily broken bastards, you don't actually know what hobby paint is.
Oh no. Those parts were so tiny, like the individual gun.
How does your rusher have 17 parts? It's just a guy that's made to run the ball. You got 17 parts? How'd that work? But I shit you not. And if you put them together in the wrong order, then you got to take them apart to get that piece in that's supposed to go in. Because if you put the 2 pieces together before you put that other piece in, those.
I had that problem with this demon here.
Were an absolute nightmare.
See this demon's clear plastic stuff on his head?
Yeah.
So, why am I not? Where the hell's my camera? Okay, there's that clear plastic piece that's on top of his head. I had to trim it down to fit it because you're actually supposed to put it in before you put the face on so that there's clear plastic behind the eyes. So what I did was I just painted the inside of his skull white, and then I used this neon orange so his eyes are still kind of glowy.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's
and the clear plastic on his back. It's kind of got like that Godzilla flame looking thing going on.
Yeah.
I'm not done with it. But
I have a guard army for 30K. Well, I mean, I have heard a lot of people say the best game Games Workshop ever put out was the Middle Earth game.
I've heard that once or twice, but I don't know, man. They put out a bunch of good games once upon a time. Necromunda, come on, guys, that was a fun ass game.
I have the new one, and I'm not fond of it.
No, I meant the original.
They complicated it like tremendously. And even though the terrain is amazing that comes with it, the boxes and towers, and
sure,
it's like the game itself. I would be much happier playing with the original rules, which thanks to Scribed you can. But the new rules where every time you fire the weapon, you got to roll ammo dice and all this other bullshit. It's like no one needed that. We just want to play a game where our gang members are running around on platforms and shit, trying to gank each other over some kind of loot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Let's make it simple, And the new game, not only did they come out with a thick rule book for the new game, every game got a big book that added even more bullshit to it.
Oh, geez. Because I have all the original.
You had the Escher book, the Goliath book. And if you didn't own the Goliath book, but you owned the Goliath juicers, you had no idea what they did because it's only in the Goliath book.
Oh, one of them deals.
And it's basically just Goliaths that do so much steroids. They're as big as a freaking ogre, but they're also kind of crazy and they only live about 6 years. It's
I can't imagine where they got that idea.
It's like
Jesus,
take a good game and make it as complicated and stupid as possible. Now it worked okay with Kill Team because you only had between 10, maybe 20 miniatures, depending if you're playing guard or not. And you moved in alternating turns and all this and that, and there wasn't all the crazy things that could happen. So I mean, if your guy got shot and you failed to save and he had no more wounds, you didn't have to roll to see what happened. You just removed him from the table because he's not in the fight anymore, right? But with Necromunda, man, sometimes characters get hit and you have to leave them laying on the table in case another figure runs over and uses a first aid kit and then they get back up.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but again, it overcomplicates what we're trying to do here, which is play a game about desperate gangs in the depths of a hive ganking each other for ration packs and shit. Plus, they got rid of the word gang, really. And
they're terrified over in the UK. You can't use the word ninja either.
Well, them ninjas be out there doing shit. Ninja, please.
I mean, yeah.
No, I just made it that way. But the other word you can do like that is neighbor. You got neighbor, please. This is my completely painted, absolutely amazing Ironborn army.
Nice.
Sweet.
For Simon's Game of Thrones. Except for the Red Cavalry, that's Casterly Rock. What is that? Lannisters. Because I have a Lannister army to paint. And here, of course, is everybody's most hated character, I think. Gregor Clegane, the mountain that rides. Yeah, one day I hope to actually get a game in. The rules are super simple. You move figures around, you play cards, your political people can do shit that actually affect the battlefield. Because you have two different leaders. You've got the leader on the battlefield and the leader at court. You see what I mean? And the leader at court will determine initiative and all kinds of different things they can do, right? And, of course, there's no magic. I painted like a year or so ago off grid. I need to take pictures and post it on Discord. I based it around Aegon. Okay, I just remembered his name. Victorian Greyjoy, who I believe Aegon Greyjoy ends up killing. But Victorian was kind of not the horrible Greyjoy brother. I mean, he did murder his wife, but only after, he found out she had slept with his brother. And he went into an angry rage and hit her. He didn't mean to kill her. But the fact that he's 6.5 foot tall and a knight,
The crime of
punched
passion.
her in the head, she died. That's what happens, And Aegon never let him live it down. Aegon's horrible. If you read the books, that dude used to sexually assault one of his nephews. He was just a terrible human being. And they never captured it in the show because the show is garbage. But in the book, Aegon was basically trying to become a god. And also the Ironborn pretty much worship Cthulhu. And deep ones exist in Westeros. So, they worship the drowned god and all that shit. And one of their rituals is to drown you and then pull you out of the water, and they have the priest resuscitate you. And if you come back, then you're considered of high rank, because that which is dead can never die. And you've already died.
Yeah,
If you don't come back, then they just chuck you in the ocean and let the fish eat you.
Wasn't worthy.
Yep, didn't make it. Too bad.
That's
But
rough.
I kind of like playing the bad guys in games. It's just a thing with me. I always have, except for 40K, because I always play Blood Angels in 40K, and they are definitely good guys.
Except for the blood drinking thing. Yeah, sure.
Well, you got to bring that shit up, man.
Because everybody knows in 40K there are no good guys. There's only bad guys.
Nope. Wrong. See, I put a McLaughlin hour on your ass.
Maybe
wrong,
the Imperial Guard, maybe some Eldar, but that's as far as I'm willing to go.
Every human fighting for the survival of the race is a good guy. Every being trying to exterminate humanity from the galaxy is a bad guy. It really is that simple. People overthink that shit way too much. And when you are fighting for the very survival of your species, then you don't have to justify anything. And that's what's going on in the Imperium. They're fighting for the very survival of humanity. If they
everybody could use that logic, couldn't they?
No, because
the Orcs and
humans are
Chaos?
the ones that are attacking everybody. The other guys are attacking the humans.
I think it's kind of happening on Earth right now between peoples.
Right.
Do you think?
Like Chaos.
Yeah, I'm guessing at this point.
Chaos.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that
Chaos
too.
can't even exist without corrupting and destroying humans.
Yeah.
That
I
is
was never a big
literally
fan
their
of
only
Chaos.
reason to be around.
The only Chaos I liked were the original Chaos miniatures in the original Hero Quest. Something about those big burly Chaos warriors and the
With
Chaos.
the horn helmets.
Yeah, some about them I just dug on. I still have scores of them. I would buy them on eBay just to have full units of those guys for Warhammer Fantasy Battles.
Yeah, those guys are cool, man.
And the new Hero Quest, I got to admit, that was Jackie and I played that. That was a fun game. The miniatures are really solid. They don't hold paint very well for some reason, and I scrubbed them and primed them and blah blah blah. And I did a really kick-ass job on the Barbarian because he's all Conan-like, and I just touched it, and the paint just peeled off in a place, and I'm just like, oh man. But I never clear coat because I assume that every miniature I have Jackie's going to someday go, when I'm gone, he's just going to drop them in the goop and strip the paint off and want to paint them again. And if it's got a clear coat on it, it makes it
I don't know.
harder.
Clear coat the shit out of that stuff, man.
I might for the Hero Quest if I can get him to help me paint them.
Yeah,
He's got what?
Yeah, some of them I would. I mean, maybe not all of them with your line of thinking, but a little portion of them, yeah. Keep them forever, so to speak.
Yeah, check this out real quick. A little jab brag.
I clear coat the shit out of everything, and then I throw a matte finish on top. But everything gets a coat, a nice good coat of hard coat.
Yep.
Can you see this?
I do see that.
Yeah.
Actually looks like
that's a
Otherworld miniatures.
water elemental.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Otherworld miniatures.
Nope.
Hey
nope,
guys,
nope.
I think I'm gonna have to go. I'll see you.
Catch you later, homie.
Later, brother.
Here's the air elemental.
That's the air one, yeah.
Okay,
And
hold
they
on.
look just like the Otherworld miniature stuff.
That's the earth.
Yeah.
Here's the fire.
Yeah, those look like what WotC put out.
Nope. They're original. They're either Ralparth or Grenadier. I can't tell from back in the day.
Yeah,
These
but they look like the newer ones that they put out. Well, newer, 15 years ago, however many years ago it was. But yeah, newer.
These are the very first miniatures Jackie ever painted.
Well, you did a good job.
This orange right here is it's actually a neon orange that is so old that it's separated. So the orange and yellow come out like separate.
All right, everybody, be on your best behavior. We have a European.
Oh, here comes trouble.
It's okay. So, Shadow, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said you knew who did it, and it was a woman.
Uh-huh.
Was it Jill Stein?
No, and I saw that. No, it was a Jill, and I don't mean that she pulled the trigger. I mean that she conspired to get people to do the thing on that particular afternoon in July, because her husband had been so humiliated, and yeah, it's just the whole thing to me just reeked of female energy.
Fair enough.
You know what the best thing about in Russian vehicles is?
Quickly changing the subject.
Yeah, but you know what the best thing is?
Best thing about what?
Painting Russian or Soviet era vehicles.
They paint themselves.
No.
In Soviet Russia, your miniature paint.
Soviet Russia vehicle paints you. No, they don't.
Oh God.
They generally speaking, don't camouflage their vehicles.
Wow.
Yeah, there's not a lot of color scheme.
So you throw that kind of light green on, and maybe throw a little bit of shade in there, and then you put some European mud on the tracks, and they're pretty much ready to go. Whereas with American vehicles like this Bradley, you have to throw black and brown and green and all that. How's it going, eh? It's going pretty good, eh? I used A wrong in that actual situation.
Well, that's too bad, ain't it?
Yeah, there's like actual rules when you say A. It's basically you say A after a question more often than not.
Here's a vehicle for you, James.
I don't know what it is, but it's pretty.
Yeah, it's an old Grendel resin kit before 3D printing. Grendel Scotia, I think it is. I got it because one, it is cool and sweet looking, even though it's 25 mil scale. But it looks a lot like, if you guys remember in the old Necromunda article for the Adeptus Arbites, the cops, it looks a whole lot like their cop car. And I'm like, this is freaking perfect. And
yeah, they got rid of them.
Yeah, I still have the
Replaced
original.
them with the Palatine Guard or some shit.
Yeah, I got the original still unpainted because when I finally got them, they were super expensive, and I figured I'd find a guy who knew another guy who knew how to make molds, blah blah blah, make more of my own. Because I loved running them in Necromunda, play a little game of cops and robbers, which was, kind of fun. But this thing is freaking one solid piece, except for the wheels and the turret. I love these old resin kits, if you will, that were just, obviously if you drop it, it's going to shatter in a million pieces. But it was only like $25 recently to get this.
See, I need to paint this guy. I've already did all the Zenithal highlight. That's Jaime Lannister. He's one of the guys that can lead your army. He should be pretty easy since all of his armor is gold. And all of the cloth is red. So, I mean, it's not like there's a lot of color pattern there. But it can be, yeah, right? Right. Bear was explaining all the ins and outs of A. It's like when we say, huh. Like if you're talking shit and you're like, so you're pretty freaking stupid, huh? Except they say A.
Our friend Armstrong, who does the Gaslands channel, he ends everything with either yes or no. He's from.
That's not uncommon with Europeans.
Yeah. He's a Polish guy who's living in Ireland.
Yeah.
Freaking sweetest guy in the world.
I like that guy, but I will admit that yes, it kind of annoys me.
I know.
Like
exactly
I would be okay if
you're
it said like or any other thing at the end, but the yes for some reason annoys me.
Well, you're Danish. Everything annoys you.
Yes.
You're just still mad that England ain't paying you taxes every year.
I actually don't know. No, I would be the one kind of Dane for that.
Right? The Dane law. Pay up or the Norwegians are going to come and wipe you out.
Pay up or else.
Just be grateful you're not the worst kind of Danes.
Wait, what's that?
Swedes?
The cooks.
Oh.
The cook?
Danish chef?
No. Literally Dane Cook, the comedian, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that guy, yeah.
Swedish chef.
Did not like that guy.
Bork, bork, bork.
I kind of like, what do you call it? The one joke over here, and that's like the heist one. Like every guy has a thing they want to do that's better than sex, so on and so on. And that is to go on a heist. And then he goes down to different characters and scenarios.
He's got a few good ones.
I don't remember that one.
I wasn't a big fan, but no, he had a few good ones.
Dane Cook was mostly appreciated by young women.
That's true. I wonder what does he look like right now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's already.
He just disappeared, right?
He did retire, yes. Okay, he looks pretty decent for 50-something-year-old.
Really, it's been that long? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't he like 30 or 40 when he?
He's
53.
I thought he was like 25, maybe.
No, he's about my age.
I see his IMDb when
God,
he
that makes
released
me
his
feel even
shows.
freaking older, man.
Yeah, that happens. Like every year that you have a birthday, everyone else does too.
Well, I stopped having birthdays, and that didn't change anything.
Yeah, everyone else is still having birthdays.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not that
right.
I stopped having birthdays. I got married, and everybody forgot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Of course, my favorite joke about birthdays, at least for guys, why don't a lot of guys celebrate their birthdays? And it's like, well, why would I celebrate the day all my problems started?
Huh?
I got it.
Yeah.
I saw this guy online, effing with his wife. And like in one scene, he runs up and sprays her right on her chest with like some kind of spray. And she's like, "Why'd you do that?" And he's like, "It's just spray on flat surfaces." And then he like turns away and walks away like a boss, and she chucks
Oh.
it at him.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those skits. Yeah, and then she throws something at him, pot, a pan,
she
or
always throws
yeah.
something at him.
There is I
those
think
are funny.
there's this couple. I'll try and find them. There's this Italian chick and her husband, and she's like super Italian, but she lives over here, and she's just constantly like, telling us, the audience, how this thing is wrong. Like for their first date, they went to Olive Garden, and she's just freaking losing her shit. It's kind of cute, but at the same time,
I know exactly the person you're talking about. And every now and then the husband will be like, "You think you can make cannoli?" And then she'll get up and go cook a cannoli for him or something.
Shadow, I have a question. You said that she freaked out. What do you call it? Olive Garden. Is she like Italian? And like
real from
okay. Because I know a lot of Italians who are like, Olive Garden isn't Italian. It's just a place you go to get breadsticks.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's salad, basically.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Olive Garden. Every once in a great while, I might grab it. But
the only thing
the
only thing I ever went there for was the veal parmesan, and the last time I went there, someone had sprayed on the side of the wall, like during the day or something. Veal is murder, and I'm like, yeah, that's what makes it taste so good. And they no longer serve veal, and I'm like,
oh, whatever.
And crafting, I have heard that theory before, but at least with me, I don't claim he's Cain or a son of Cain. I just say he's either a son of Seth or other one of Noah's unnamed sons. Sorry, Adam's unnamed sons.
That'll work. It's not true, but it's funny as hell. And I'm not the oldest amongst us, just that, there aren't many. I think Cal and one or two other people I know are actually technically older than me.
Like all the guys who are older than us, they've been dying.
Right.
Yeah.
Sean passed. Elle passed. It's like.
Yeah, we're definitely at a point in life where it really stops giving and really starts taking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't like be away because I mean, to be fair, Elle was like 80 years old or something.
Yeah.
And Sean was.
Wait, Elle was 80?
Maybe 80. Yeah, so it's like
he was like 70. Shauner died on his, I believe, his 60th birthday.
60th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what I heard, yeah, he just had
he had been
poor health.
Time.
He didn't take care of himself very well. From what
I
understand.
I talked to his sisters, and I think I talked to his brother last year, and there was a whole lot of stuff that happened.
Yeah, he'd been sick for a while.
Yeah.
But
I do remember you mentioned something, Shadow, that someone cleaned out before his parents got there.
Yeah, they cleaned it. Well, his parents had passed away, but they basically. I think I'm allowed to say this. He was behind on his rent, and because he was, and they didn't have anybody immediately to contact, like that minute, they just cleaned out his entire apartment and took everything. And they had a company come in and do that, which technically is not just illegal, but potentially, multiple felonies, because he had prescriptions there. He had his computer there. He had all his, financial documents and things like that.
Breaches of HIPAA laws.
Oh yeah, that's big time no.
Right, and of course he had his, his rather extensive collection of books and movies and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing you're behind on rent. It's one thing you're behind on rent, and you die, you got no one to contact, and you need to use that rental. All right, put them in storage.
Well, you would think they would have been cool enough to at least let.
No, they knew what they knew.
To me, that would be like borderline crossing the line. Like, okay, he's dead. We can't get a hold of nobody. We need this place. We'll put everything in storage neatly, cataloged or whatever. Take the time, do it right, and then when you get a hold of somebody, say, "Here you go. Sorry about the passing. The storage is on us.
Yeah.
We couldn't get a hold of you. It's not
that
like
would be what a
here's
nice
some stuff
person
and you
would
go
do.
for it."
That's what a nice person would do, but you have to understand, Shauner lived in California.
Well, not only that,
Right.
but they could have got a hold of his family because he was in semi-regular contact with his sisters and his brother and stuff like that. All they had to do was go through his freaking phone book,
Yeah.
make a few phone calls, but they knew what they had found when he was gone, which was tens of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise,
So
and
basically,
they're
it
like
was a lot more than what he owed.
by leaps and bounds. And he knew all he had to do was reach out and contact me. I'd have floated him some money. It's like I'll help you cover your rent, but I don't think I don't know. It's just
He's
Yeah,
such a-
I barely knew him. I would have pitched in on that.
yeah, and you would have never guessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There
never
are a lot
liked
of
it.
people who actually do want to donate small amounts to GoFundMe, or SendGo.
Mm-hmm.
I would have pitched in gladly.
But either he was too proud or maybe he was too in the hole. I don't know, but I never got that impression. He never
Yeah.
seemed. He was always going out to get fast food. Stuff like that. Which there's a real quick way to save a crap ton of money. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Just
It
cook
might have been not just too proud, too embarrassed. Or too
Yeah, I
proud.
mean,
But
he could.
either way.
It sucks. It sucks. And one day,
I can see James wanna change the topic because he's wiggling his boot.
My boot.
No, your boot. The one connected to your hips.
No, I'm looking for a pair of Malcador tanks that I know I have, but that I don't know where I put.
Ah.
And Malcador tanks, they run in pairs.
they're not like a small model, James.
Nope. They're actually a pretty big model.
Are they?
So I'm going through here looking to see
Yeah.
if I can find them. I'm looking somewhere for it to find you. But then again, I'm not 100% sure where I put them. And with me, I could put them somewhere yesterday and I wouldn't remember today. So I need to paint up this frickin' Lannister army and get my wife to play. I wonder if she'd play Lannister. I mean, it'd really be a battle of the two bad guys, wouldn't it? Lannister and Ironborn.
Yeah, but bad guys bicker all the time.
Yeah, too bad they both can't lose.
Right? Like at one point, I think it was Aegon sent Victorian
I'll be right back, guys.
ship down to raid Lannister's islands. So, of course, that was in the book. That was because Victorian was never in the TV show, and Asha was not how they depicted her either. Asha, totally different. And Aegon was totally different too. He was a maniac. So yeah. But this guy's pretty easy to paint, obviously, because he's literally only like 3 colors. I mean, I might have to do a little highlighting and work on the face, but otherwise, I mean, it's gold armor and red cloth material. And then I believe the shield should be gold with a red lion, or is it red with a gold lion?
I do not know. Also, Awkward Gamer has a nice idea there. He says, I'll probably turn my home into a rooming house for elderly nerd friends, so I accompany the game with, and I won't be traveling as much.
Right?
Yeah, if you got the room, that's a spot on idea there, Off Grid. Spot on. If I had the room, I'd copy your idea. Maybe I should start
So
buying up
do I have you
property.
all on Fridays?
Yes. Yeah, maybe I'll start buying up some real estate and turn it into nerds only old care, old elderly care, or whatever you want to call it.
Right. And like out in the area, instead of like everybody playing like Pinochle or something, you got like D&D groups going on.
Yeah, the only way you're allowed to come into the home is, there's a questionnaire and you got to like explain THAC0 and some other board game
Oh, okay.
questions. And
Yeah, I was going to joke. Now, boys, let's not go back to the edition wars. It's been over for a while now.
yeah,
Man, it's unfortunate what's happening with D&D. That they basically fired all the designers good designers decades ago and all that. And also that they have to earn money for a corporation.
yeah, it's been gutted and it's sad. It breaks anyone that's been an enthusiastic hobbyist, enthusiastic participant of that game and the genre of gaming. And they've had many, many years, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, well, probably 30, 40 years invested, such as, James and I have had. It kind of breaks your heart.
Yeah.
It doesn't it broke my heart. It's breaking my heart. It's like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, it took me a while to get over it,
Yeah. It was a kick in the pants.
5th edition.
I did too. 5th editions, the rules itself is all right. Okay, they really are. They are all right. I will stand on that, Gil.
Books you can deal with.
Yeah, the rules are okay. And if you want to put out fluff, so be it. But just the way the company itself and some of the folks in that company and what they were doing is just like, really, that is so unnecessary. Like,
did you see Double D's video today?
No, I haven't seen. I like watching him every now and again, but I don't really watch his stuff.
Yeah, I guess a Wizards of the Coast employee posted a bunch of shit making fun of the death of Charlie Kirk. So Double D.
Well, we'll see if HR gets onto it and cans him or her.
A thing, but I don't have any high hopes that anybody at Wizards of the Coast. Basically a guy who used to make YouTube videos.
Yeah, I can't see the name. Yeah, look up Charlie Kirk and watch some of his stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, he's just pretty much a guy that would sit down at universities and debate people.
Yeah, he was very educated, clean cut, well mannered, God believing, Christian, Christ lover, family man, working man, salt of the earth, and he'd just go around and say, hey, I believe this, in the Bible it says this or that. What do you guys think, or why do you think differently? And they go back and forth. And from the videos I've seen where the people would get really aggressive or offensive, he would basically just dismiss them in a polite way, like, okay, your time is up. It's time for the next person. Like, he wouldn't,
Yeah, he wasn't a jerk.
No.
And he got assassinated by a sniper.
Yep, shot in the neck in front of his wife and kids in a crowd at Utah.
University of Utah.
Yep.
Yeah. But they did catch the maniac, so there's that.
They caught somebody.
Shush.
I agree with Shadow that they caught somebody.
I am hopeful that it is the correct person.
And I say to both of you, shush.
I am hopeful.
Hey, Bear.
Hey, what's up, Bear?
Kids?
Oh, geez, this guy.
Hey, Bear,
what's up, Bear?
Yeah, the face like that. My
Yeah, I
dog
know,
looked
right?
listen, my dog looked like you squirrel. I'd shave its ass and teach it how to walk backwards. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
I
There
have
you
not
go.
heard that one. In
That'd be a good
30
dog. That'd be a very good dog.
So you can't insult the retarded because they just go, that's funny and me stupid. And you're just left going, well, that was a waste of my fucking time and words.
Yeah.
What's up, man? What are you guys talking about? I hear you guys going on as I came in. What's going on?
Oh, Satya asked if somebody had died or something, and we gave him a really quick rundown.
Okay. Yeah.
There was an assassination. And then I said, but they caught the guy, at which point Shadow started arguing, that.
No, he didn't start arguing. Now, reel it back. He suggested that might not be the actual perpetrator. That's all he suggested.
Look, me and Shadow been through this shit yesterday.
Listen, you'll go through it again today with me. I am hopeful that they caught the real perpetrator, the murderer, the assassin. I'm hopeful. Who knows?
I will say, though, it is funny that they put, if you read this, you're gay on one of the casings.
Well, they said that, but it was directed at the ATF, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, LOL.
Yeah, the person seemed to act out like a troll just for attention.
But the worst part about it is the entire media, news, whatever you want to call it, across the board will say, you're gay, but won't say the ATF. They won't say that little part of the message, which is the most important part.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care because I just painted the commander of this BMP3.
Nice.
And
fun stuff.
It is ready for a game of Twilight 2000.
Sweet.
Actually, now that I look at it, it's got a light there that I should paint yellow.
Uh-oh. Oh, excuse me. How is that Twilight 2000?
To the coaxial. A spotlight. It might actually be an infrared light because a lot of old tech infrared worked by shooting infrared light, red light downrange.
Yep.
And the actual sight could see the red light. But
I'm sure you guys can hear me. I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Bear.
Yeah, I hear a bear.
But he can't hear us.
I'll be back.
The other day, I saw a bear, a great big bear,
a
hairy bear.
Door. Rawr, rawr, rawr.
There's an actual song about seeing a bear.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm not making that up. There's an actual, and there's another one that's the teddy bears on parade. If you go out to the woods today.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, once you started that.
You might find the teddy bears at play or some shit.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you're talking about
pretty sure
bears.
That shit wasn't in that song.
And teddy bears and whatnot.
Yeah, they're doing that over here, Satya. They're trying to say that the words he said made it where he deserved to be shot. But everything he said was not bad.
It wasn't anything offensive or degrading or abusive or demeaning or Satya. Watch some of his stuff and see how well spoken this fella was. And you'll kind of understand like how a lot of people are really, really upset and hurt by this.
Plus, he was a nice guy. That's the reality.
He seemed to be. I never met him, and I hope he really was. He probably was. I mean, I have faith that he was, but I don't know. I just pray for
Rain,
the family, and even the people that are like celebrating. I just forgive them, God, for they know not what they do.
Yeah.
Better man than me.
In case you guys were wondering, Praying for Rain is a Cure song.
Yes, it is. It's not a bad one.
Nope.
Cure had some good tunes.
Oh, sure.
I love the Cure. Like every time they come on the radio, I always ask my wife, "Who is this?" And now she's gotten where she's always like, the Cure?
The Cure?
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, cool.
You're learning.
But I only ask her who it is if it's the Cure.
Yeah. The Pavlovs.
So she really can't tell, you know? Because it's always the Cure.
And that's the only time you ask. Who is
That's
this?
the only time
So
I
I have a question for you guys, if a little bit of brainstorming, if you will, if you don't mind.
Oh boy. Sure. Yeah, I
So,
don't care.
say like you're running a fantasy game, Age of Sail, and it's well, not necessarily a colonism game, but yes, there will be opportunities for that if you want to found your own kingdom. What do you think should be in a game like that? Like, what kind of ruined exploration or civilization do you imagine when you hear a new world or?
Well, it's a pirate game, so like obviously there's going to be a lot of buggery.
What are buggers?
Look the word up. I don't want to explain it.
Fornicators.
Ah. Welcome back, Bear.
Specific type of fornicator.
Yeah, a lot of debauchery.
Here's my platoon of 113s.
Dean, I'd have to ask one simple question.
Go ahead.
That will help me. We'll sum it all up. Is it Earth or a fantasy world you created?
Fantasy world.
Okay, then whatever the hell you want.
Fair enough. Also, Bear is saying he wants in now, or he's gonna steal your honey.
He's not an effluent or a woozle.
And everyone,
A woozle.
Effluents
Right.
and woozles steal honey, as per the Winnie the Pooh song.
Yeah.
But I have no honey, sir. Would you take some vinegar instead?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Can't see me though.
I cannot
No.
see you. I
Yeah.
see your little.
That's all right. You're easier on the eyes.
Listen,
There
for
we go.
someone as
Oh,
ugly as you are, I would really not be throwing around those insults. I would
So,
just sit
Bear,
back
I
and
have
go.
a Star Trek question.
Was I not speaking? You fucking European. Jesus.
Oh,
Don't
gee.
use the delay.
Go for it. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
What's your reply to someone who says Star Trek is a dystopia? They don't specify which Star Trek.
I think people put way too much thought into that kind of bullshit and need to get their heads out of their asses and touch fucking grass and realize it's a fucking TV show.
I agree.
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, call me crazy, right?
Correct.
Crazy.
It's
Well,
entertainment.
the fact
It's fun.
that dystopia, I don't even understand where that argument would start.
It's a post-capitalist society. It's socialist. It's
Yeah, that's
Who
not
cares?
okay, but they're all wrong.
No,
Who
it
cares?
doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong. The point is, it's a fucking TV show written by fucking humans in the modern age. It's nothing.
Who cares? Yeah, it's entertainment. You like it or you don't. Move on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nerds love to argue about things.
Oh
Yes,
boy,
we
do they
do.
fucking ever. Oh, that's why I'm a geek.
Yes, we do. We do. And I can see people arguing over little silly things.
And you can't even say Star Trek is socialist. What it is a post-scarcity age.
But it's also a socialist society as
Because once
demonstrated
they
on
have
screen.
developed the replicator, then there's no scarcity. Therefore,
Well,
Right, except there's can't replicate, therefore they require industry and exploration. And I don't want to talk about fucking Star Trek.
Well,
I
and
don't talk
it's,
about.
I thought you liked Star Trek for some reason.
I'd say, in my opinion, I don't know much about Star Trek, but it's kind of like I guess maybe a utopian socialist with exploration. Because, I mean, socialism looks great on paper, but when human beings do it, it gets all effed up. Capitalism looks great on paper. When human beings do it, it gets effed up. Free market looks great on paper. When human beings get involved, it gets effed up. I mean, outside of like
We gotta
murderous
get rid of those damn humans.
society.
Can you guys hear me? Testing the mic.
Yeah.
So can you still hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I moved it to my mobile head so I can go get my coffee. Look, it's
All right,
not,
sweet.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a massive Star Trek fan. The point is that it isn't socialist, communist, capitalist, libertarian, or any. It's a fucking society we can't understand because there's no fucking economy, you know?
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
you
no
want
economy
to.
we see, but like you
Well, no,
said,
there's
like people got to be making stuff.
Okay, there's no economy in the sense of you can't just say, "Oh, I go to work every day and I'm a cloud miner," right? Just using a stupid Star Trek term from an episode, the cloud miners. You can't do that because it doesn't exist, right? Why does Ben Sisko's father run a restaurant in New Orleans if there's no money? What's the benefit to him? Just he loves cooking and serving people?
Or what about the
Yes, some people
when,
would feel joy in cooking and feeding people.
Not enough to create an entire industry of restaurants is the point. That's the point, right?
Should
So
I
we don't understand what's going on in Star Trek. We don't understand how it works. We
didn't
don't
know.
understand their economy
Oh, okay.
from a modern point of view.
Yeah.
Right.
And
No,
I
no,
agree
yeah,
with that,
for-
and I also think it should be like that. Also, there is coffee in that Nebula.
Yeah,
Well, you
Janeway was a fucking war criminal and should have been fucking tried on violations of the Prime Directive. Don't get me started.
the whole concept though is, you know, the universe is so vastly explored that you could easily have all kinds of different, you know, rules, regulations, and situations depending on where you actually are at that moment.
The thing you guys are forgetting is that it was a post-scarcity civilization, so money didn't matter so much, but status still did. And that's why you join Space Fleet and you become an admiral.
No, you don't.
Because now you're a badass.
No, you don't.
And that's why you open a restaurant in freaking New
No,
Orleans.
you don't,
So that
James.
you can share your love with everyone else.
No, that is not why. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to disagree with you. Well, I'm going to disagree with you because I think my knowledge of Star Trek is at this point encyclopedic. And I'm going to say no. The problem is this. You want to know what the fucking problem is? Here's the fucking problem. In the late 1980s, Gene Roddenberry got to create Star Trek The Next Generation. And he said three fucking things. He said, there's no money. There's no interpersonal disputes between humans. And the replicator can make anything. And the minute he made those three choices, their society stopped making sense. Well, you can't have a fucking society that is an industrial-based society that requires energy and things like that, that isn't putting Dyson spheres around suns to exist without something that is a trade. You have to have mercantilism. You have to trade for your deutronium. You have to trade for your whatever it is you need.
Dilithium
Number
crystals.
two, there is no time in history or in the future where humans will not contest with each other at some point. It is built into our genetic code. It is who we are.
Impossible to avoid.
Impossible to avoid. Everything we do based on our reproduction, everything is based around competition. That is the way life works on planet Earth and will continue to work for millions of years for the foreseeable future. Number three, the replicator is bullshit and could not exist. But if it did exist, if there was some magic way it could exist, nothing else in Star Trek would exist the way it does. You wouldn't have spaceships, you just have little probes with little replicators in them. They could fly out, scan things, build stuff automatically for you, while humans stayed home in holodecks that are receiving the transmissions from the drones, imagining they're out there if they wanted to, right? The replicator is the most broken concept of God-level technology that you can possibly have. So what do? They introduce this God-level technology, but they don't consider the effects it would have on the remainder of society. And to give you an example of how stupid Star Trek writers have become since then, and they had become pretty fucking stupid. When you watch Picard,
Oh no.
season 1, and he goes to Starfleet Academy, there in the middle of the path that you walk to the building, there are these doorways, and they are two-way transporters that people are walking in and out of. There's no, these ones are in, these ones are out. It's pew, 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 pew. One, how the fuck does the thing know where to transport you when you walk into it? Two, how does it prevent someone from walking out as you're walking in? Because we see people passing within a second of each other. How does that not fucking go wrong
And then you
and kill
get a
some
fly
fucking people?
situation.
Exactly. You get a Tuvix all over again, right? How does that not fucking happen?
You get the
So the-
freaking Cronenberg effect.
Exactly. So the problem becomes simply this. Modern Star Trek, post-TOS, has no fucking concept of how science, civilization, humanity, or anthropology works. They just make it up as a bunch of Hollywood cunts trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing. You go back to that original show, yeah, you have writers like Harlan Ellison and DC Fontana who are fantastic, really, really, what's his name? The guy who did the Trouble from Tribbles episode, David Gerald. We have these really amazing, fantastically imaginative writers, and many of them came back for the first couple of seasons of TNG. But they also had scientists who would look at their scripts and go, well, and then sort of point out some shit. You know what I mean?
They hired consultants. They had people who were like, hey, take a look at this and see if it's too bananas. If it's way, I mean, we don't mind it being a little bananas, but if it's, I agree.
And the only fucking way transporters work is if there is no soul. So you are now living in an atheist society 100%, because the minute you are converted to energy, transported somewhere else, and then reconverted back into matter, it takes no account for the concept of the untouchable, the ephemeral, the unmeasurable, the fucking human soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will also say another thing. So you brought up the Tuvok problem, but there's
Tuvix.
Sorry. But there's also the problem of like how many times has Star Trek again said we don't talk about what came back from that accident?
Oh yeah, listen, the transporter.
Because even if that transporter were safe, they wouldn't build it anyway, because statistically, you would get a lot of those problems.
Okay, look, here's another thing with the transporter, taking that into consideration. How does the transporter work? It recreates you from what they call a buffer pattern, where it stores a pattern of who you are. And given some of the small transporters we've seen, these patterns clearly don't take up a lot of space. I don't think there's a compression now. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But they can do it. So if I have your pattern online from when you showed up at Starfleet Academy as a perfectly fit 18-year-old, I also have your current pattern as a, how old are you, Dean Powell, just real fast?
30-something.
30-something experienced Starfleet officer. Is it out of the realm of possibility to believe that we cannot take the pattern physically of the 18-year-old, replace it, one thing, the brain pattern of the 35-year-old, and every time I beam you back from the planet, you maintain all your experiences, all your knowledge, everything, but you're in a perfectly fit 18-year-old body.
Immortality.
Therefore, fucking immortal.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm not feeling like a boy anymore. I want to be a girl. That's the big topic. Not a fucking problem. We're just going to beam you back up in a female body now. Enjoy that. So all of our bullshit, all of our nonsense changes. And we wind up in a world where we have immortal god creatures that can change their gender, their look, their skin color, their haircut at whim. At whim. And they have magic machines. Yes, we'll make you a fucking Cation. And we've got magic machines that can just produce gold and food and energy and this and that. And then it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
The transporter was the biggest fucking error of the original series. And the only reason they did the transporter was because it was too expensive to film shuttle landing and leaving scenes all the time. And they needed a way to get the people to the planet. And they couldn't do it on the budget they had, so they invented the transporter.
Yeah, and to continue the story, we'll just, hey, let's save the budget and keep the story going. So, okay, you can transport.
Anyway. All right, you feel better now? You got me all riled up about Star Trek there, you fucking Danish prick?
Wow. I'm getting there. I'm waiting.
Not you. This was the one who got me riled up.
So, question. If you can do that, how many times does Janeway needs to be executed for war crimes?
So my roommate at the time said the best thing ever, because we watched Voyager, because it was on. It was something to watch. And we didn't watch Deep Space Nine when it aired for some reason. I only watched it in rerun and fell in love with it. But we were watching Voyager, and we were sitting on the couch, and we knew like the last 3 episodes, they were making this big deal about it. They're always showing ads, the final 3 Voyager episodes. My big looked at me and goes, if those last 3 episodes aren't her fucking trial, this series is a joke. I was just like, that's really fucking fair.
I never saw the show. What did she do that was so grievous?
So Kirk would violate the Prime Directive in a way that allowed him to sort of go, yeah, I did it, but I saved lives, I did this, I did that. Janeway would happily violate Prime Directive when it suited her, poo-poo other people who violated the Prime Directive like they were the devil themselves and she wasn't having it, right? And fucked with civilizations to the point of whatever just for the benefit of herself and her crew.
Yeah.
Right? Tuvix being the perfect example. That episode was brilliant. It's probably the best episode of Voyager they ever made. Tuvok, the Vulcan first officer, and Neelix, the alien cook, wind up in a transporter accident and become a creature called Tuvix, a uniformed being. And the being wants to live. And people on her crew are explaining, this is what we're here for, new life, finding new things, and this is new, and it is a life, it is definitely sentient. And she's like, too fucking bad, I want Tuvok back. Is ultimately the stance she takes for the whole show, and in the end, forces them to be separated back into two beings by the transporter.
Yeah.
So now she's a murderer.
Mind you, they could have gone away with that really quickly by doing one thing, that his form is unstable. So he
That's
had
it.
to yeah.
The pathos would have been fantastic. Have her wishing she could save him. Have that whole episode, her being, I wish I could save her. The doctor being like, there's nothing I can do. This pattern will degenerate and he will die a horrible death. Now we have to find a way to save him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to leave this. We got to let this new life live, and let's go from there.
All right. Okay. I'm not saying anything more about Star Trek now. Thank you.
Okay.
I will say this.
Okay,
I will say this. Hang on, real
just...
fast. I will say this. Shadow, you saw the video I posted on my shorts, right?
Yeah.
I had to go delete a fucking comment from a cunt, and there's been a few downvotes on it. Like, wow. What is wrong with people? Well, we lost James.
He'll be back.
Well, lack of shame is absurd.
Hi, James. Welcome back.
Hey, James.
Because
hi, buddy. Long time no see.
How does it feel being on the button?
That's kind of a
personal question.
Yeah, that's really weird, dude. Jeez, what's wrong with you?
What?
Oh my god. Does it feel being
yeah,
on the bottom?
I'm sorry to hear that, Bear.
No, it's okay. It doesn't piss me off. It's just sad that these people have to exist.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes another one. Too bad there wasn't this outpour of emotion when Melissa Hortman was a... Who the fuck is Melissa Hortman?
I don't know. You might want to look into it, though. She might have been a good lady. Good, who knows?
Oh, she's the chick, the one from Minnesota who got assassinated in May. She's a Democrat. Oh, so this person's a Democrat being a fucking, again, not able to read a fucking room and just walking in and throwing their little dick everywhere.
Well, okay. The problem is,
bye.
She was assassinated by a Democrat.
Don't complicate reality with facts.
I mean,
yeah, no, you might get be walking down the street and get punched in the mouth because you're confusing reality with facts.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who did her in was definitely a Democrat.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the media,
worked for Tim Walz. There was a minute
the
there
news
where it looked
these
like
days, and I'm using these days liberally. Pardon the pun. It has been so absolutely full of the exact opposite of the truth for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because the Kirk assassins' parents were incredibly right wing, doesn't mean that's the way the kid grew. Developed. You know what I mean?
Actually, they say he was an average, normal kid, and then he went away to college in Seattle and came back 2 years later a maniac.
Yeah.
So basically there was a picture of him on X with him and his father the night before he goes to college, and he looks happy and he's wearing some sort of, they look like normal fucking, Utah people. And it says, the person's like, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. College happened.
Yeah.
American University is a fucking
cesspool.
Marxist training ground.
Now you guys understand my dilemma. My boy wants to go to college.
Send him to a Christian college.
That's what he would like, but there's no such thing here in California.
Yes, there is. Well, then send him out of state.
You
Put his future ahead of your need to have your boy close to you, please.
No, it's not a matter of being close. I want him
Okay.
safe.
Well,
I'm
then
okay.
send him to
Dude, as soon as he goes off to college, I'm going to Texas. It's
so
cool.
what Christian college does he want to go to?
He hasn't really decided. He has also been talking about wanting to go to a local community college so he could stay here with mom and dad. I'm like, no, you need to. I was like, Air Force, do Air Force. Air Force will pay for your college, and maybe by then shit will be straightened out.
Where'd I come
from?
What
I mean? But I don't know, man. It's just he's
here's the thing.
As smart as he is, he has got a whole lot of growing up to do and a whole lot of maturing to do that he can't do.
Life experience.
Right, he's got none of that. Just internet and videos and stuff like that, and a lot of self education. He's a smart kid, but I mean, he doesn't know how to change a tire on a bike.
Well, get a bike and ride it and teach him. Dad.
Can't hear you, James.
Stop being so controlling.
Get a bike.
I've tried teaching him. Every time it gets a flat, I show him how to do it, and he's just tuning it out. He's like,
all right. So then you got to go the way my mother went. Get a stick. Get a stick.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
He's Hispanic. He needs to get the sandal.
Oh, get the chancla. Get the chancla of destiny.
Yes.
Go get a nice sandal, glue a bunch of glowing stones to him, and tell him you're going to play Thanos.
Snap his ass out.
With the infinity chancla.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
if the mom used
prior to this last year or so, he was really gung ho for the Air Force. Now, not so much. He's still doing JROTC. He's probably going to make major this year. And I'm like, dude, if you go from where you are now into the Air Force, you will be able to write your own freaking ticket, for a lot of things.
Well, doesn't he get to go in as an officer or something? Does he get to sign up for the officer program right away?
Yeah. And with his grade point average and all his other experience and background and achievements, he would do great. And then
this is the chair force. It's not like it's going to break him or anything.
Right, but his mom.
Worry about it if he becomes a pilot or a pilot recovery.
That's what he wanted to do, but his mom has been whispering in his ear, we're going to go to war. You're going to die. Don't go. Blah blah blah. No clue. What?
Doesn't the Air Force have like the lowest fucking casualty rate of any division of the American Armed Forces?
It doesn't matter. She's Mexican.
But by a country mile, because they're rarely anywhere near the action.
They send their officers to go die. They don't go themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah, because all the fighter pilots are officers.
Yeah.
So that's who they send out to die. The enlisted men are sitting 1,000 miles back at some base eating pizza.
And he probably would never make pilot, without a lot more discipline than he's capable of. But he'd still be able to go far, in logistics.
Yeah, I was going to say because he's Mexican. And we all know Mexicans can't drive.
He would do.
Like Asians.
He would do great, but it's probably not going to happen. Now he wants to teach history, and I'm like, okay, well, the Air Force would give you a lot of, legs up trying to get that goal met. Trying to do it out here, he's going to be forced to take a lot of classes that, have absolutely no bearing, and he can't.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of classes you don't need to, and then you still got to pay for it.
Yep. And he would be forced to literally have to lie, from his own personal perspective to pass those classes.
I have a suggestion what he can do. So to sell that he's Mexican/Spanish and all that, instead of his last name being written as Shadow, just read it as Sombra or whatever they call it in Spanish.
Sombre, yeah.
Yeah, Sombre.
Yeah. It's
Also,
just,
one of the best clans in the vampire role playing game. The La Sombra.
Oh,
vampires aren't for playing; they're for hunting.
Okay.
Here, here.
All right.
Glorified ticks and mosquitoes and leeches.
I mean,
so gay.
I'm not going to argue that point with you guys. Hunt them down. I'm just saying there is a clan called the La Sombra, and they're pretty cool.
So, Bear, what's your favorite, or least not favorite, White Wolf game?
I'd love to do that off grid.
I truly hate White Wolf games.
Ah,
The only reason I played Vampire LARPing was because one, I was an actor, and two, there was pussy.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember you saying
story
that.
as
Yeah, there
old
was.
as time.
And in my head, I just pretended we were all gangsters with superpowers.
I mean, that is technically
Yeah.
what Vampire usually is.
Which is pretty much true. Unless you're playing the 5th edition and then not.
I don't like any. Aberrant. I didn't hate Aberrant.
So, what do you dislike about Mage?
Everything.
What about Raid?
Everything.
Raid? What the fuck is Raid?
He said
the
Raid.
Ghost
That's the
game,
one where you play a dead person.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
What?
where
Well, you
literally
don't
the
go to
only-
heaven or hell. You're just kind of a spirit trapped between.
And where for some reason they did make the main
Oh.
spirit, what do you call it? The one that I can actually interact with the living world.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
their
I remember
the money they
seeing it.
use is souls.
My favorite White Wolf game was For the Fucking. Okay, that was my favorite one.
Yeah. Slut the pounding.
Exactly.
I never played any of them except what was the one where you play like gods or something?
Exalted.
Yeah. I played that over on Table Breakers, and it was one of those situations we're going to play 2 like 1.5 hour sessions, and I spent 10 hours making up a character. I'm not even kidding. 10 hours to play 3 hours.
Of
And
what game?
wait, what was it?
Exalted.
Exalted. And
10 hours to make an Exalted? Are you retarded?
No, but that included the reading time. That included the time to read.
I got my joke in. I don't care anymore. I'm fine.
And then the GM
That was great.
proceeded to have all the fun without us.
Oh,
The NPCs got to do.
Oh, yeah. I remember you saying about
the
that.
NPCs got to do all the cool crap except one player who had a moment in the early beginning of the game, and then everything else was all look at all this cool stuff in the world. And I'm like, yeah, are we gonna roll some dice? We're just gonna listen to you freaking run your mouth, for 3 hours. It sucked.
Yeah, I do remember you saying about that. One of the worst tables you sat at as a player.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I got a better offer than hanging out with you guys anymore.
Well, you're a bitch, but have fun.
Hey, you know what? It's really not hard to come by.
Right to jail.
After 22,
Right away.
After 22 years, you do what you gotta do. Anyway,
You do what you can.
Amen, brother.
You do what you got to do, but I love you.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yep.
Hey, I got a game. I got
Love
a
you
game
guys.
tonight. Live stream my channel. Come check it out. It's gonna be a fun time.
Is it
Bye.
heroic?
Got a game as well.
It is
Love ya.
heroic. It is absolutely heroic.
Nice. I want to see that.
I got a game, but I will.
So
check it out
I
later.
second that motion. Go watch Bear run heroic.
Bye now.
Happy trails, folks.
Do you
God
got
bless.
something coming up, Shadow?
Yeah, I got a game at 6 my time. 7 shares.
Oh, so that would be like 9 our time, wouldn't it?
If you're
We're
3
like
hours
3
ahead,
hours
yeah.
apart, right?
Okay. It's hard to keep track of all the time zones, but yeah,
Okay.
I got a game and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll tell you guys about it next week.
Okay.
awesome.
And Dean,
I have a game here, 7
Which
p.m. East.
innocent village are your people planning on burning to the ground and taking all their stuff?
Are orcs really innocent?
Well, I was thinking more of the Viking thing.
Oh, okay, the Viking thing. Yeah.
So is it going to be Ireland, the Orkneys, Scotland, England?
I think we're taking New York this time. The food is good this time of year.
Yeah. Come watch Silverback and some randos being heroic. Silver. Anyway, you got a game coming up? Are you putting it on live or are you just playing?
No, that's just a private game with some friends I've been running for. I don't know if it's over a year or 2 years.
Well, still, it's good to hear that you guys are over there doing fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting game because unintentionally, me and the other guy is the only white guy there. The 3 other guys are black. And we didn't know until half a year into the game.
That is wild because in my life, I've literally played more role-playing games with women than black guys.
Well, that's it also they are that generation I'm part of, or just the millennials.
Now, I've played Warhammer with black guys. One, and we had a blast. But yeah, you're right. Black guys role-playing, not super common.
Yeah. I find that they're more, you find them more often in anime-inspired games or cyberpunk games.
Oh, yeah. And I think DM is a big fan of Gamma World.
Yeah.
So and Star Frontiers. So him and I would get along great because I love both those games too. But you have fun, my friend, and I will see you later. God bless.